Hello, everyone. It's live stream time.
Yes.
It's Monday again. It's 6:30 p.m. EST. And we did we do one last week? We did.
Last week, yes.
Yeah,
But one before that.
we missed. Yeah. Yeah, so usually we start off by showing a book
Mm-hmm.
and talking
Yes.
about it a little bit. And the one that you chose for us today is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I think I showed here before their creator-owned book,
Mm-hmm.
Helen of Windhorn.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tom King and Bilquis Evely.
Yeah.
I I got to meet Tom at one of the shows. Maybe it was New York.
Oh.
I think it was New York, and I bought their creator-owned the Dark Horse book, and he also signed it, but I had to buy this as well, so now I have this. It's very similar, the idea. It's like a fantasy story,
Yeah.
but with the superheroes and in space.
Okay.
But it's the basic idea is kind of similar to the other book. And I really like the story and the art. That's the strong part of this specific book.
Actually, I like both the line art and also the coloring.
Yeah, coloring is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some textures in the colors. I'm not
That,
sure if it's pasted on, like in a layer, or is it actually drawn.
do we have a close-up cam today or no? Okay, yeah.
We have a close-up.
We have a manual zoom focus. Oh, the textures. Oh, I see what you mean by the textures.
I think it's a layer with pasted, yeah, you see here.
Pasted or?
Like a layer. It's not like specifically drawn here.
Oh, you're saying it's a digital edition?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
yeah, that's possible.
Obviously, the coloring is digital, so.
Yeah.
But I think she works traditional with the inks.
Yes.
I'm not sure though. I'm not sure.
Oh, you're thinking that you might do the inking digitally as well?
It's possible.
What does it look like to you?
It's hard to tell now. It's almost impossible to tell.
Really?
Yeah, for the inking, the coloring
Obviously digital.
is yeah, and
Or mostly digital.
it's easier to understand if it's digital or not, the coloring.
Mm-hmm.
But the inking, the lines are. This looks traditional to me, but you can achieve the traditional
Do some
look
people
pretty easy.
do part of the inking digitally and part traditionally, or is that not something that
I know that
happens?
a lot of people do some of the pages traditionally, and other pages that they want to
Okay.
sell later, they do it traditionally. But
Oh, I
I've
see.
never heard of like a
Mixing the,
combination for a
yeah.
single page.
Because I could think about use cases for doing that.
Yeah, even though when I work traditionally, which is all the time, I prefer that the page is identical to the final like page on the book.
Yeah, because you
I don't
end up
know why.
selling your originals and you want them to be
Yeah,
as.
but you can change or edit stuff after the scan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. I only do the like correction for because sometimes the inks that I use are not very black,
Mm-hmm.
and when I do
Scanning.
after the scan I do the color. It's not color correction, but it's correction of the saturation.
Yeah.
and it turns everything to black or white. Then sometimes the lighter inks like fade away and you can't see them, so I need to edit specific places.
Just so that it's opaque black.
Yeah, but I don't change the inks themselves, so it's identical to the...
It's so cool the way she does the hair. Like on the previous
Yeah,
page.
everywhere, yeah, the hair is
The
very
hair
cool.
has its own, has a mind of its
Yeah.
own.
That's very cool.
Very sculptural.
Yeah. No, her art is really, really good. She's
Yeah.
amazing. It's like everything is perfect. You can't see like there's no... I didn't see any mistakes or things that look awkward or anything like that.
Yeah.
I like the splash pages
Mm-hmm.
where there's a lot of details, but you see that it's like some of it is like scribblings and not like very
Mm-hmm.
accurate.
It's it gives
The idea of a city, of like a town, but not...
It's not actual detail, it's the feeling of detail.
Yeah. I was trying to see if it's... Yeah,
The same image.
probably it's the same image.
It looks like it.
It looks identical.
Except for the hand.
No, I'm looking to see if it's traditional or digital.
Yeah.
Because if it's digital, you probably would like copy and paste. And it looks like identical. I see here. You see the hair is like identical here. So this is probably digital, but she could do the first one and only do the hand on the second or the third one, and then like paste it in digital.
Oh, this is nice colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost synth wavy kind of.
Very Mobius.
Yeah.
This is very cool. I also like the way she draws faces.
Mm-hmm.
And the shadow lines they have like a flow to them.
Yeah.
This is very cool, this page.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of work because every page has a lot of lines on it.
Hi, Jillian. Nice to see you.
Very detailed.
Happy Monday.
And this is the colors here are kind of different, which is also nice, right?
Yes. Suddenly the neons.
This is very hard to achieve.
That almost looks
kind of reminds me of
Lord of the Ring-esque a little bit, or
reminded me of the
Cthulhu mythos.
Sergio Toppi, the Italian artist.
Yeah. Hi, Jamie. How are ya?
I also like the lettering here.
Yeah, we're both doing good. How have you been? Haven't been to the cinema so far since last time we live streamed. We wanted to see Project Hail Mary, but I guess we didn't get around to it. I was away for a week too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good book. I really like this.
Yeah, this is very
I knew I liked her style, but I didn't go through and look at every single page like we are doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me want to read it.
Look at this. Like,
yeah.
The gesture here is very...
Her faces are very unique to her.
Yeah.
She has her own...
yeah, it's like it reminds me of like the 20s style.
Yeah, I see that.
Something like maybe reminds me of RT.
Yeah, RT, yeah. With the women that have like the wispy short bobs and
short hair.
Yeah.
And like very like the curls.
Eyeshadow all the way around the eye.
Yeah.
Slight eyeshadow sometimes. And like the spikiness of it's very angular, but also round at the same time.
The backgrounds reminds me of Trad Moore, like this specifically, the way she draws the mountains here and the sky and the trees. It's very Treadmore.
Jillian asks, can you talk a bit about the upcoming workshop and the critique tier?
Oh, okay. Sure. We're gonna do a workshop, and it's about inking.
It's
Like
not we're gonna
specifically,
do, you're gonna do it.
I mean, me and the
And
audience.
okay, yeah, just to make sure everyone realizes, okay?
And you might join as well, right?
Maybe
Maybe.
a little bit. I have a lot of experience with imagery and compositing, so I might chime in, but obviously Nir's going to be giving the workshop.
So the workshop is gonna be about inking, and we're gonna talk about what is inking and what's the best way of doing it, common mistakes, and we're gonna do a demo, and you can follow along in the demo. So I'll send you a sketch, and you can print it out or just use it as a reference in the background, and you can follow along whenever you like, but you don't have to follow along. You can just listen, because I'm gonna do a small demonstration. This is very cool. Look at the sheet.
Jillian asks, would it be more digital or traditional? So we're talking about traditional
It's gonna be
inking.
traditional, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about digital.
Yeah.
And the digital part, it's probably, if you work like only digital, you're gonna learn a lot from hearing me speak about traditional, because it's the same rules.
Right.
It doesn't change because if you work digitally, you want to mimic the style of traditional, because people like it better. It looks better, but it's not a must, obviously. You can develop your own style. But
I wanted to add to that it's sort of like learning how to drive on a gear shift.
Yeah.
And then you know how to do both. So I've been teaching you how to do rope climbing and harness and all the knots that you need to know and stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah. And belaying. So I teach him everything, even though he might not. So it's like you said, the rules are the same. So line weight, width transitions, blacks, all of that. It's all the same, and it carries over.
Yeah. So the only difference is you're using like computer screen instead of an actual page, and there's a difference with the feel in the hand, but the most important part is the same, which is decision making before you start inking or during the inking session, and it's basically more or less the same.
And then the critique tier, I think the difference, if I recall correctly, is that they are going to be sending in work either email or whatever way is comfortable for them, and then you'll actually critique that during the workshop.
Yeah.
Which, if it's not your work, you're also going to be learning because of the critique, right?
Yeah.
And applying that to what you do. And then if it is your work, it's like getting a more personal answer specifically about how you can make your line work better.
Mm-hmm. This is very interesting to see her sketches. This is, you see that it's traditional.
Yeah,
obviously.
It looks like graphite, like pencil,
yeah,
maybe,
pencil
or marker. I can't see from.
And this looks traditional as well, so she probably knows.
Do you know if she?
Traditional.
It would be interesting to actually find out if what the ratio of traditional to digital line work is in what she does.
I can guess it's probably
like 70-30 or 80-20.
I think it's even more than that. I think it's like
she only fixes things digitally. Yeah. It's a possibility. Yeah, so the workshop Nir's gonna go over the pitfalls, how to make layering look better, depth look better, how to get line variation in the correct way. You're going to talk about movement and depth and shadows and blacks and everything that you might need to make your line work better.
Yeah, and we're not gonna talk
Yes,
about
which pens and inks and paper is going to be covered as well. Yeah.
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 So
So
a lot of
Jillian,
people ask about tools,
mm-hmm,
and I'm gonna talk about tools
mm-hmm,
for sure,
yeah,
but you need to understand that it's better for you to develop the way that you work with your own tools to find out by yourself and not rely on other people to tell you which tool is the best. I think that's a better approach than just copying other people's. Obviously, you can hear what other people are use,
mm-hmm,
but it's better to find your own way because you can probably achieve everything with almost every tool for inking.
mm-hmm. And also what is comfortable or feels good for you to use isn't necessarily going
Exactly.
to be the
That's
same for someone else.
exactly.
Perhaps you like very light pressure when you work, and a different person uses a really heavy hand and a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You're gonna like different tools, right? Jamie says, do you have many pre-orders for the course yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Basically, I don't think we've been advertising it as much as we should be.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe we should get on that actually,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's gonna be worth your while for sure. And I'm gonna definitely watch it later on. By the way, we can record it and send them the file afterwards so that
Yeah,
they have
of course.
the file on hand to go over the questions that you may have had during the workshop.
Yeah, and I'll send like a recap with all the information uh, to the participants
Hmm.
with the tools we'll use and every other information needed.
And I think we also had a thought about raffling off this one of the sketches that you do during the workshop to the people who attend,
Yes,
right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's also anyone who attends. It won't be a sketch card. It'll probably bigger than that. Bigger than that. We've only ever raffled off sketch cards that you've done on the live streams. So this would be
I think I've done A4
A4
once
once,
with,
yeah.
I think it was for Comic Art fans YouTube
I
channel.
actually really love having when there's an artist that you really enjoy. I love having a sort of looser sketch page of them because that way it's like unfiltered, unadulterated. You see their process on the page, just testing things out, sketching quickly, and maybe some areas of the page have more detail in them than others. You get a feeling more for the process that the artist you like has, and having that is really nice. I really enjoy having those type of sketched pages by artists. Is there something that participants need to prepare ahead of time before the workshop? That's a good question.
Only if you want if you want the critique
Mm-hmm.
tier, you just need to send me whatever you want me to critique, and if you buy the critique tier, I'll send you a detailed critique separately with via email,
Mm-hmm.
and also talk about it a little bit in the
During the
workshop.
workshop, yeah.
And what was the question?
It was, is there anything that they need to
Oh,
prepare? So, because
and
you're going to be talking
other
about.
than that, if you want to follow along
Mm-hmm.
with a demo phase,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll send everybody a sketch of mine. But it doesn't really matter because you can also do whatever you want. You can prepare a sketch of your own.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a light box, you can use a light box on my sketch, or you can print it out on a thick paper and just lower the. I'll actually send a file with the blue lines, so you
Mhm.
can print it like this,
Mhm.
as is.
Mhm. You also don't have to have a light box in order for it to work.
Yeah, if you print it with the blue lines, you can ink on it.
Mhm.
Just make sure you print it on a high quality paper, because it's...
Do they need to prepare dip pens or any type of like ink?
So about the tools, whatever you have now works, because everything could be done with a brush or with any type of pens that
Yeah.
you're used to.
Mhm.
As I said before, we will talk about tools, but it doesn't mean that you have to use the same tool that I use. So, because obviously, if you look at this page, for example, you can ink this page in like so many different ways.
Mhm.
So it depends on the style. And when you see traditional artists that are inked by other inkers,
Mhm.
that they don't like ink themselves, you can actually see the um, influence that the inker has over the pages. And it's interesting. It looks different from the other ones.
I would say, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but if they're planning on using a dip pen, they should have a dip pen.
Yeah, for
They don't.
sure.
You don't have to have it, but it would help if you had it handy.
Whatever tool you want to use.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna talk about, I think that there are more important things to understand
Then the
about
specific
inking
tool.
than the tools.
Yeah.
The tools are important, but
Mm-hmm.
I think there are other things that you need to understand and
Mm-hmm.
know before you think about tools.
Yeah, I always use the breakdancing example. You see someone breakdancing crazy good, and then the question ends up, but what brand of shoes is he wearing, right?
Yeah.
So the person breakdancing can do it barefoot.
Yeah.
It helps a little bit to have the right like grip or whatever kind of sole, but it doesn't. You don't have to have that shoe in order to breakdance
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And same with climbing, same with inking. I would say if you're planning on doing brush pens, just have some brush pens handy. You could have 2 or 3 different thicknesses of brush pens, which are not hard to come by, and you can use those instead of a dip pen. Whatever you're gonna end up, or if you already have an idea what you want to get better at, have that handy. If you want to learn a new tool and you decided, yeah, I'm gonna go for it, just have that handy. There's enough time to get some tools together. And if you're just using ballpoint pens,
That's
use
okay.
those.
Yeah.
Use those. Yeah.
There's a like one of my favorite artists. He uses ballpoint
Ballpoint
pen.
pens. You can do
Jim Food.
amazing things with ballpoint pens.
Jim Food.
Jim Food uses ballpoint pens and it looks killer. So,
He has like sketchbooks he sells
mhm.
with his ballpoint pen sketches,
Yeah.
and they look amazing. It's the choices that you make that make the artwork. It's not the tools.
Yeah. The tools can be
The
a
tools help
comfort. They
you,
can
yeah,
help. They
they
can,
help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. They're
in a
not
less
the,
painful way, I'll say.
yeah,
So,
sometimes in a more painful.
sometimes, yeah. I
Like,
hope that,
because I like using, just as an example, I like using the technical pens, and they're pretty hard to
yeah.
care to.
As
They need care and attention.
As far as inks go, whatever ink you have is fine. It doesn't matter. We're not going to be submitting these pieces to art galleries. It's just for learning. So whatever ink you have, you just get a hold of any type of ink if you're going to be using that. And paper, I think you usually say the smoother the better.
For me,
Yeah.
again, it's the same thing
Because the
about
thing is,
paper.
when the paper has tooth to it, your pen, it doesn't matter if it's ballpoint or dip pen or whatever it is, aside from brushes or brush pens, it's going to be skipping on the paper. It's going to be
But
snagging.
yeah, but some people like it.
Some people like it. Yeah, it's true. I mean, whatever, you could even use regular A4 paper, I'm thinking, for the
Yeah,
workshop.
for sure.
But if you really want to
It's
get,
only to practice.
it's just for practicing. If you want to get the feeling of some kind of like, smoother, denser surface, you could try just picking up a few pieces of inking paper or calligraphy paper that are high density and smooth.
So when you apply to the workshop, I'll send all these details that we talked about
Yeah.
here. And I can also send like a recommendation for paper and
Ink.
ink and
Okay.
tools. But
Yeah.
again, with the caveat that we just said that it's not really as important as it looks.
I know sometimes it's when you see someone that's very good at something doing what they're doing,
Yeah.
you want to know what the tools are, right?
Yeah.
Because I think for a lot of the people, they understand what you're saying. They understand that the tool doesn't make you good at art, but they say, okay, so if this tool is good enough for this person who's at this very high level, I want that tool because that tool is probably good, right?
Yeah,
In comparison
I
to.
think most people try. They want maybe a shortcut, so you don't have to go over by yourself finding the best tool that
Yeah,
suits
and that
you.
makes sense too.
It makes sense, but
Yeah.
I think it's part of the process, and I think it's part of how you develop as an artist.
That's true.
And I think you have to go through it.
Yeah.
If you want to be like an artist that has a interesting voice or a specific voice, and who is not like imitation of somebody else, then the best thing is to find your own way with everything, not just tools, but tools as well.
I would test every kind of tool that interests you, because you never know. You might even invent a new way of using existing tools.
And that's going to be the most interesting thing, right?
Yeah, if that happens, then you already have a unique perspective built into your process.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me actually on numerous occasions. Even in the digital realm, you over time
Well,
end
I
up.
guess in the digital realm, it's easier to like invent new stuff than traditional. Traditionally, it's very hard. Da Vinci, for example, he was a very innovative artist. He tried a lot of different stuff, and that's the reason his art is
Endured.
hard to preserve.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking about the longevity necessarily.
He was thinking about it, but he made a lot of mistakes, and his art is like, for example, the Last Supper is
Deteriorating.
is damaged because he
falling
used like
apart.
a specific type of paint that he invented himself.
Didn't he use egg tempura on that or something?
I don't remember the details, but I know he invented the technique, and it was great in the beginning, but it didn't archive really good. So
if you have any other questions,
if it's a metaphor, then probably if you're inventing a new tool, it will be harder than using a tool that was used before and somebody else invented. But it's going to be more interesting for you, and I think for the audience as well.
Yeah, so it was applying tempera, not tempura. Tempura is the crunchy Japanese sort of like breadcrumish type thing that they
put on meat.
Well, on everything, yeah, shrimp and for frying. So it's not tempura, it's tempera. And it says that he painted with tempera and oil paint onto a dry sealed stone wall rather than traditional wet fresco. And then he added a preparatory ground of gesso, pitch, and mastic to the wall, followed by a white lead primer to enhance color. And the experimental technique was called a secco. Leonardo rejected traditional fresco because it required fast painting, and he used a mixture of egg yolk, glue, and oil. Okay.
So what's the reason it's not?
Because the paint did not
It
adhere to
doesn't
the dry
survive.
plaster, it began deteriorating just a few years after completion.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, the way that it is now, it's in a bad shape, and they can't let people be there for a long time. So if you want to see it, you only have a few minutes inside, and no lighting almost at all, because light accelerates the deterioration of the art.
Mm-hmm. I just hope that they keep Cecilia Jimenez away from that. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think they learned
Their lesson.
I think it was in Italy, right?
Probably. I don't. Yeah, maybe.
She was a nun or something.
I don't know if she was a nun, but I'm guessing that she
She's a
should.
nun
She
now.
should. She's a nun now. Yeah, like she has to repent for her sins because that was egregious. She basically turned Jesus into what looks like a Neanderthal that was run over by a Cybertruck. Was that a good
Yeah,
comparison?
I think so. Basically. So I'm back to Helix Sky, and I almost finished the third chapter of the book.
Yeah.
I just need to finish there's a at the beginning of each chapter there's a page with a map, or it's not really a map, it's more like a 3D isometric view of the entire chapter, because as we explained, I think many times before, it's the story is told in a linear geography way.
Chronogeographical.
Chronogeographical.
Which I think is the word that...
Is it something that I invented? Because I never seen anybody do that.
I don't know. I could check.
There's a story called there was a movie that was made about this comic with Tom Hanks. I've never seen the movie, but I can't remember the name.
So actually, the word chronogeographic exists, but
But
it doesn't. It doesn't
something else.
mean what we are using it for. It means when a geographic location varies with time.
Okay.
It just isn't that every geographic location?
Yeah.
What I don't...
Oh, maybe they mean like when there's a tide or something like that, when the location could be underwater or exposed.
I don't know. It says when you analyze a space and take into account changes over time, then it's called chronogeographic. So I guess it's like scientific research or some sort of statistical research. Yeah, well,
Okay, so it's something else. But what was I started to talk about something, but I forgot.
I asked, by the way, I asked ChatGPT in the interim. I like asking ChatGPT questions that are sort of like would maybe stump it, or so I asked, was Leonardo da Vinci a weirdo?
Okay.
And the short answer is yes.
Yeah, of course he was a weirdo.
It says he was obsessive.
First of all, he was gay, so
Was he?
yeah, he was gay.
Do we
He
know
was.
that to be true?
We know that for sure because he was arrested for that.
But doesn't mean he was gay.
He was arrested for sodomy
Oh, but he could be
with a
bisexual.
with a specific He didn't have any relationship with women, so
While not explicitly confirmed by Da Vinci himself, many historians and scholars consider it highly probable that he was either homosexual or bisexual. He never married or had any known relationships with women, lived with male apprentices for decades, and was publicly accused of sodomy in his youth.
okay. It's not an option. It's
If it
for
looks
sure.
like a duck and it quacks
Yeah.
like a duck, I mean, he might have been bisexual.
No,
But-
he was gay, and
Okay.
Michelangelo as well. He was also gay.
So it says that he was obsessive, which I totally see. And then he was socially weird. He didn't follow a standard career path.
Yeah, he didn't follow the rules.
He had complicated
sure.
patron relationships, and he likely lived outside typical social norms of the time. He had a wild imagination, but was also grounded in reality. He was sort of like a top-tier concept artist, it says, or an architect-engineer,
He was an architect and engineer
and a scientist,
and a scientist
and a slightly chaotic creative who misses deadlines. So yeah, weird by Renaissance standards, but honestly closer to how a lot of great creators work now than people like to admit.
Yeah. The sad thing about Da Vinci is he didn't produce a lot of art.
Yeah.
I think it because he was so perfectionist.
Yeah.
It was hard for him to finish.
I think they said, I recall something about he never handed in the Mona Lisa to the contractor.
Oh no.
Right?
He held it
with him. Like he kept it wherever he went, and he would like talk to it as if it were a person or something. Jamie asks, have you had any interesting commissions lately?
I'm supposed to get to there's the mystery sketch thing that comic art fans they do, I think twice a year or 3 times a year. I'm not sure. So I'm supposed to get some new ones, but I don't know what they are yet. But yeah, Tatiana told me that I'm gonna get a few more, but I don't know what they are. But I finished some work for hire stuff. That is interesting. I'm really excited to talk about it when I can, but I can't now.
Yeah.
So I almost finished chapter 3, and I only have I started talking about it earlier. I only have the first page, which is kind of a map or a isometric view of the chapter. It shows the specific level. So chapter 3 is level 22. Yes. And this is the first page of chapter 4, because I didn't want to do here in the stream, I didn't want to do the map page because it's hard to see because it's very small. Everything is very small. It's like a map. So I think it's hard to see with a camera. So it's probably a bit less interesting than doing like just a regular page.
What do you think your past self, like let's say you from 10 years ago or 15 years ago, would think if he saw the way that your pages look now?
I think about it a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
I think about something else, but it's the same thing. I think about the fact that I want to see my pages in 20 years from now.
That would be interesting. But still, the question stands.
Again, it's like a shortcut to the future that I don't want to, like, I think it's, if I see it, it will ruin my
Trajectory,
my
because you'll try to replicate it or something.
it will, I think it will mess with my head
Yeah.
somehow.
Okay, but what do you still think that would have happened if, not that would have happened, what would he think about your past self? What would he think about your style now?
I think at first it will be a bit surprising, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but after a while, I think I'll understand where it comes from, because you can obviously see the connection between the stuff I do now than stuff from 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
even though it
I
changed a
think your
lot.
line style changed completely from 15 years ago.
It did change, but I do see, I still use, so in outskirts of vision,
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of architecture drawing
Mm.
there,
Yeah.
and when I do the backgrounds here for Helix Sky, I take the book and look at it just to get some inspiration for myself.
Yeah, because there's a lot of architecture in that book.
Yeah, and a lot of different type of buildings.
Yeah.
So, and also David Lynch once told me that, not specifically me, told everybody,
To look back at through
look
their
back
older
on your
art. Yeah.
older art. And it's always interesting, as long as it's from a long time ago that you forgot.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see that, because it's almost like a different person,
Mm-hmm.
but you do remember most of the time that you drew the image.
Yeah.
But it's still like having a reference from another artist.
I recently, I think 2 months ago or a bit longer, I took an airbrushing workshop. And what I thought was going to, so the information that I thought I was gonna come away with from it
Yeah.
was actually not what ended up being important, but something else that I didn't think about what ended up being so important, and I'm happy I did it for that reason.
Okay.
It was, he really went over how to like clean an airbrush properly, take it apart, and what the logic was behind and this is a person that has a lot of experience as well. So really describing what his thought process was and how he goes about doing it, and that ended up being the, the most beneficial thing that I learned. I learned other things as well, obviously, but that was for me the best takeaway.
Yeah.
Jamie says, I think my younger self will tell myself off, as I used to draw a lot and I don't draw that often. My daughter has also told me to draw more. You should, Jamie. I mean, even if you, I don't know if you commute in a way that allows your hands to be free, like on a train or whatever it could be, or on vacation at the beach, you can doodle, or even just like find 5 or 10 minutes a day to do it,
It's never a bad advice. Like,
to
what?
draw more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even for people where drawing has nothing to do with their actual jobs, I would say it's a good um, way of strengthening your visual apparatus and your hand-eye coordination. So I think it would be better for, I think people should draw more in high school, people should draw more in college, even though they might not be taking classes that are art related or engineering related or
Well,
architecture.
it's not for everybody. So if you don't like it,
I mean, if
then
gym class is for everyone, why should drawing not be for everyone? That's what my
maybe
thinking.
gym classes are not supposed to be for everyone.
That's sort of what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
The gym classes aren't for
No, I don't
everybody.
think gym is necessarily the best fit for every person.
Yeah, but it's health related, so I
Right.
think
And I think this is brain related. I think drawing actually it soothes, it has the capacity to soothe you. It's meditative. It strengthens your coordination. It it deepens your ability to visualize internally. It makes you a better observer.
it always remind when people talk like that, it always reminds me of a friend that I had. I think I told you one, and maybe I told it here even in the one of the live shows,
Hmm.
about a friend I had that we had an origami class
Right.
at school,
Yeah.
and he hated it so much
Yeah.
that he skipped school.
Because
And we were
he had a phobia of origami or
he
something.
had like, I think he had a phobia of failure,
Oh,
maybe.
but
So if it's not for you, then it's not for you, like
yeah.
drawing, for
I
example.
wonder if he attempted origami and he felt that he was failing at it and then
Yeah,
didn't want
yeah,
to do it
he
again,
attempt
or if
yeah.
he didn't even try it.
No, he tried.
Yeah.
He was so bad at it that it was embarrassing for him to be there. So
But was he actually objectively that bad at it, or was it all in his
I
sort
don't
of.
know, I don't know, maybe.
So what my thought process on that would be, so that would be the best way for him to get familiar with not feeling the best at something and also being okay with that.
Yeah, but it was a class at school, so
Yeah.
you had to go through it to,
We're
like,
talking probably younger than high school, or was it high school?
no, it was younger than high
Yeah, like
school.
middle school.
Yeah.
Still grade school, sort
But
of.
still, it's stressful if you're not good at something and you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's not for everybody,
No, yeah.
but if it's for you, you know it
Well,
probably.
we know that Jamie designs graphics and illustrations for apparel, right?
Yeah, I saw a couple of Jamie's
So
designs. It
definitely it
was.
is.
Oh, and by the way, one of them was of Star Wars, and it's Star Wars Day now.
Is it start? Yeah, it's May the 4th.
So
That's true, yeah.
happy May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you, everyone. And also the Force. Yeah, that's why there's a lot of Star Wars related content on YouTube at the moment. I sort of really forgot about it, and then you happened to mention that it was coming up,
Yeah, because I was confused and I thought it was May the 1st,
which
but
also sort of sounds like the Force.
yeah, but May the 1st is something else.
Let's see what happens on May 1st. May
May 1st is
1st.
the Workers' Day. It's the, like,
Oh, okay.
Union Day,
So it's International Workers' Day or
Workers'
Labor
Day,
Day,
Labor Day. Yeah.
a public holiday in many countries,
Yeah.
honoring labor movements for those who don't know. And it's also known as May Day sometimes.
I mean, it's pretty much similar to maybe the Resistance in Star Wars. So
Right. Other
they can,
observances.
like, if they want, it will be easy to converge the days together to one day. Maybe in the future, where Star Wars is gonna become like something like the Bible.
Yeah, Star Wars, it will be our new religion, maybe. No, but by that time, I'm thinking that the AI has completely taken over and religion isn't allowed anymore or something.
But only this religion is allowed.
Well, that
Star Warsism.
and Pastafarianism, flying spaghetti monsterism.
there's a new in LA. I'm not sure if it's open yet, but there's the new Lucas George Lucas museum.
Yeah.
I think it was designed by a Chinese architect, and it looks like a spaceship a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it open already?
What?
The Lucas Museum.
What do you mean? Open already?
Yeah, because they built it. I wasn't sure if it's open.
What city is it in, did you say?
LA.
Huh. Temporarily closed.
Temporarily?
That's what it says. The Lucas Museum of Narrative Art is an upcoming museum founded by George Lucas and his wife, Melody Hobson.
So,
Once completed, the museum will hold all forms of visual storytelling.
yeah, so it's not open yet.
It's not open yet. So I guess they don't have not open yet as an option, so it's on temporarily closed on Google.
But look at did you see the photos? It's a cool building.
Yeah, it sort of looks like
a little bit like a spaceship.
maybe a Bella Hadid.
Zaha Hadid.
Zaha Hadid, sorry. Bella is something else. I think that's a model. Bella. Yeah, Zaha Hadid-esque building. A little bit.
Yeah. I prefer Zaha Hadid over this, even though she's not alive anymore.
Does the architect have to be alive for you to like?
No, because it's funny because she has new projects.
Right. Well,
with the name Zaha Hadid.
Yeah, because her firm still exists, right?
Yeah.
Jamie says, me, my partner, and daughter watched A New Hope this afternoon. We are big Star Wars fans. Yeah, Star Wars is sort of like, I think anyone who enjoys sci-fi, I'll put it this way, most people who enjoy fantasy or sci-fi probably enjoy Star Wars. It's easy to like. That's what I'm trying to.
I consider Star Wars
to be fantasy. I know. Yeah, the museum looks really cool. I mean, it definitely merits a visit to LA for sure. When it's ready, hoping that it's not extremely crowded by the time we get there. Maybe give it a few months to quiet down.
It's gonna be crowded for years.
You think so? Yeah, probably. It's gonna become a tourist attraction as well.
Of course.
For anyone in the area. Rightly so.
And they probably will have cool stuff inside, like from movies and stuff.
Yeah, it was a nice day out today. I walked around 8,000 steps around town. The sun was out. It was a little bit windy, so it wasn't cold. It wasn't too hot. And we just pounded the ground, my mom and I, just walking around, going into shops, drinking coffee. It was really nice.
I heard that, so they say that you need to do 10,000 steps a day.
I think it's 7,000.
So I told you that it's actually 7,000. So the 10,000, this specific number, was from it was a marketing campaign.
Oh, really?
Of one of the step counting
Fitbit or something.
Something like that. But
I mean, not surprising as well.
Exactly what, but somebody just invented the number. But after a lot of people use the apps, they actually did study.
They did analysis on the statistical.
They have statistical data from a lot of years and a lot of people. So they have the correct number now, which is the minimum is 5,000 a day, and the optimal number is 8,000 or 7 to 8,000. It's not that it's bad doing 10,000, but it's not it's almost as doing
The same, the
seven
seven.
or
So I
8
definitely
times in a
don't
day.
get 7,000 steps in each and every day. That's not a thing.
No.
Well, the past few weeks, my family's been visiting, and I had trips to the airport and walking in the airport and around Calgary and stuff. So I definitely got a lot of steps in. But normally, I cannot say that every day.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you work out and you go climbing,
Hmm.
then it's actually better for health. Like if you do it enough.
I guess when the
Like
movement type is more varied, then it might be better overall.
10,000 steps a day is for a person who doesn't do anything else.
Right.
If you work out
Yeah.
and you do like
Any type of
then
physical activity that is sustained. So it could be
and
dancing, it could be
and
tennis, it could
do
be
it
pickleball.
enough times a week.
Yeah, I think like 3 times a week is what they say,
Yeah.
which, yeah, 3 times a week sounds about
You
right.
also need to combine aerobic and physical strength,
Mm-hmm.
like weights, which is
Yeah.
also important for the brain.
Yeah,
We
also
found out.
resistance, some sort of resistance training. So either pushing and pulling with your own body weight or lifting weights or like a functional type of workout or
I think
Pilates.
we can replace Joe Rogan.
What do you mean?
We became the podcast that talks about lifting weights and
I don't think, is that what he talks about?
I think it talks about health related like bullshit and
I thought
stuff
he
like
talked about
bro
I
stuff.
thought he talked about political things. Is that not, or is it all everything?
I think it's everything, but it's a lot of about like health related
Doesn't he also
stuff.
interview presidents and
Yeah.
political figureheads?
Well, I think Trump
Trump
was
was on
there,
there, I think. I
but
think he had
Trump was on Lex
every.
Friedman as well. So
Did you watch that? I don't remember if I
yeah,
watched that
I
one.
watched that.
How was that? Was it painful or?
It was very painful.
Oh no.
He is not an intelligent person.
I heard that the worst interviewer,
He's oh my God.
the worst interviewee, I heard Joe Rogan talking about it. I don't listen to his show, but on a different podcast they said that he had interviewed the Egyptian minister of, I think, tourism or something, or archaeology, Zahi Hawass, I think his name is, and
Why do you know his name?
I don't know. It's just like something that lives in my head for some reason. And the person being interviewed was just constantly talking about how all the most important findings in Egypt were him and him alone and no one else. And like stressing the fact that he's the one that made the important finds and no one else's finds mattered. And it's in his book that this happened and you can ask anyone. And it was like a very,
Sounds like Trump.
yeah,
Actually.
I guess a very
He talks like that.
self-serving, self-aggrandizing, I'll say, like trying to, you know. Have you heard about Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream? Milken Center? I've never heard of that.
No.
First of all, what is the American dream anymore? Is it the same dream or has the dream changed?
Have you ever had a dream that you're dreaming that you're dreaming?
Milken Institute, did you center?
Do
It
you
says
remember?
Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream. So I'm guessing that Jamie brought it up because of maybe the architecture of the building. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna look at images here to see if I can. So there's a lot of interiors. The exterior looks like a more
Neoclassic,
neoclassic sort of
very
Greek,
North American
yeah,
style.
North American borrowed from the Levant. Um, yeah, straightforward exterior, and the interior looks like it's just. It looks like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure exploded in a room. That's what it looks like. Like every single color possible is in there. There's gold, there's silver, there's wood, there's bronze. Very eclectic. I'll say eclectic would be a nice way of putting it.
Okay.
The interior, in my mind, I mean, I would enjoy it. I'm not trying to diss it or anything. It's just a lot. It's maximalism. So, what about the Milken Center,
At
Jamie?
the first glance, I thought it was the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona.
The interior?
Yeah, just I looked at the first photo really quickly, and I thought it's the ceiling of like
Oh, this.
yeah.
Oh, is that what I haven't been to the Sagrada Familia. I wouldn't
Well,
know.
I've been there couple. I think it was 10 years ago, and they're gonna finish it pretty soon. So
The Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream, sorry, MCAD in Washington, D.C. is a cultural institution and immersive museum dedicated to showcasing the pillars of health, education, entrepreneurship, and finance. It aims to inspire visitors by highlighting stories of achieving the American dream through interactive, technology-driven exhibits. Okay, so it's
maybe they
like
have cool exhibits.
maybe, yeah, I don't know. It publishes research and hosts conferences that apply market-based principles and financial innovations to social issues in the United States. So I guess they do research as well. It looks like it. That's a pretty bombastic title, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a museum in Abu Dhabi, or I think Dubai, not
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi, that I've been to a couple of years ago, which is it sounds like this. It's the science. I think it is the science museum that looks like a moon, like
A crescent?
a crescent.
Museum of the Future?
Museum of the Future. Yeah. They
This,
had
this is a building. I always
yeah,
ever thought
the
it
building
was
is
like
crazy. It's crazy. The building is actually
insane.
crazy,
Are
insane.
there elevators in there?
Everything is in there.
Yeah,
Elevators,
it looks,
everything.
I'll put it up on the screen. And
It looks very cool from the inside as well.
it's giving mothership. Here, I'll just
It's
pull this
giving
up.
Arabic mothership because of the windows. So the ornaments, the thing that looks like
Are
writing,
windows?
are windows. Yeah,
And the writing as well.
yeah.
Because these
But
are
there,
words. I can tell that these are Arabic words.
I think it's called. There's a name for it. I when I studied architecture, we had a lot of
Arabesque? No, that's something else.
arabesque.
No,
Yeah,
isn't
arabesque.
arabesque just the shapes?
Yeah, it's the shapes. It's
But
arabesque.
this is more than shapes. This is words for sure.
Yeah,
I
but
can even.
they use words and letters in
So
arabesque.
this one is alif. It's the sound. This one I think is oo, the swirly swirl, or ku. Also, that could be. Um,
Yeah, so Dubai and Abu Dhabi are crazy, crazy. They are crazy cities, both of them.
Museum of the Future is a building located in the financial district in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The museum has 7 floors. It's dedicated to exploring the future of science, technology, and innovation. Sounding similar a little bit,
Yeah,
I guess. Um, yeah,
yeah.
nice.
The most interesting thing about it is the building itself, but it is still very cool. They also had cool um, exhibitions inside,
Hmm.
but I guess it changes all the time, so it depends on when you're there. There's actually, I think there's a museum that's when I was there, they were building it by Frank Gehry
Mm. In Dubai.
in Abu Dhabi, near the Louvre,
Wait,
near the
what?
Abu Dhabi Louvre.
Wait, there's a Louvre in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, there's a Louvre, and it's also one of the it's one of the craziest buildings I've ever seen. The Louvre in Abu Dhabi by Jean Nouvel,
Wait, let me see. Oh, it's
who's
like over water or something?
yeah, it's over water, and there's a crazy huge dome. It's You can't translate it with photos. It's impossible to understand the place.
Yeah.
It's so big.
What
It's like
is
it's gigantic.
what is the dome like aluminum or
Shade.
something?
It's metal.
Yeah,
It's only
because
for shade, and it's exterior.
but what is holding it up? Because it looks gigantic.
The dome itself, like the dome,
The
it
shape
has
of the
the
dome.
shape
Okay,
itself.
yeah. So, uh-huh. Oh, also, I think it's made of like there's some sort of parametric.
It's a different. It's a lot of layers of different meshes
Yeah,
of metal.
this is pretty cool. I
Yeah,
like that.
Jean Nouvel got famous. I think he's from Paris.
Yeah.
He got famous for a museum in Paris.
Have you ever had a dream that
I told the joke before.
I know, but now it's in my head.
Do you think people know this, or
Some
like
people
more
probably.
obscure?
It's a meme. If I recall correctly, it's a
It became a meme, but it became a meme so long ago.
so long ago. The kid is probably like
Pro
35 years old.
Yeah,
And also it was around I think the same time period as Blood.
yeah,
Wasn't that also a famous one?
yeah. I think that's even older
Where
than
his
Blood.
parents go, we don't even know why he has an accent. Like he was born in Michigan. We both don't speak any other language.
Yeah,
And this kid just has a Hungarian accent for some reason. It was funny.
yeah. Accents are interesting. It's funny to me that people think that I have a French accent.
I mean, I can hear it. It sort of sounds similar to a French accent a little bit.
Yeah.
What does Nir's accent sound like to you? Jamie, Jillian, anyone else that's on here, chime in, please. Would you guess that it was that he spoke French or a different language? Or would you not have a guess at all? I don't think I have an accent when I speak English.
Accent? No, you don't have an
No, I don't
accent.
think so.
You have a Canadian accent, maybe.
Yeah, it depends too, because when I'm in the US, I say sorry, and when I'm in Canada, I say sorry. But
Okay.
I think that's the only word.
It's intentional, or
I don't.
you think about
I
it?
think it's subconscious. I think I try to blend in subconsciously. I don't necessarily do it on purpose, no.
I think I say sorry because it's easier for me to say sorry. So I
Yeah.
say sorry everywhere.
Oh, actually, I know why the sorry thing happens because when I was around 12 years old, we moved from Toronto to a city in Florida. So we moved to the US and I said sorry at school and the kids started laughing at me and they were like, "Are you soaring through the sky? It's not sorry, it's sorry."
Sorry.
And so I guess that sort of stuck with me.
It's even more sorry in Florida, right?
Yeah, it's sorry. Well, I'm guessing that in Wisconsin it's probably more pronounced the way that it's spelled. Or the way that you just said it.
Yeah.
Like
Sorry.
sorry. Sorry. Like a sari, like the clothing.
Yeah, like the Indian
Yeah.
traditional
Which
clothing.
some of the most beautiful articles of clothing I've seen in my life were in India at a wedding, traditional or semi-traditional wedding, and the saris there were just, and the bangles too. It was off the hook. The fabrics were just amazing.
Yeah, I mean traditional Chinese and Japanese
Yeah. Also
fabrics
African.
are.
I don't
Oh yeah,
I don't remember
African.
off the top of my head what they're called, but the African traditional, very color patterny,
Yeah.
very, very vibrant colors as well.
Hmm.
Also is wackadoo. It's so good.
Yeah. African style is very interesting.
Hmm.
I think I saw once Ethiopian style
Yeah.
for traditional clothing.
Yeah.
It has a lot of beads, I think.
Beads.
Yeah.
Hmm. Was it also
And
like toga-ish, longer
yeah,
overshirts that sort of turn
yeah.
into full body robe type
And a lot of
garments?
thing hanging from the head. Like there's like a big
Oh, yeah.
headpiece.
I think Mongolian was also similar to that, but it might be more elaborate than the Ethiopian type. But I remember seeing when I was traveling in Mongolia, um, the traditional pieces. I'm telling you that Star Wars, Queen Amidala, a lot of her costuming was inspired directly by Mongolian.
Is that the Natalie Portman character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Here, I'll bring it up for, I'll say, so
I think
this one is pretty
she
obvious,
reminded me of
right?
the character from Neverending Story.
Oh, she did? She was?
Do you remember there was a princess in Neverending Story
Somewhat, maybe a
at
little
the
bit.
end, and she was a little child?
Yeah. So do you remember Queen Amidala having a similar headpiece to this?
Maybe, yeah, it looks like something from Star Wars.
And this? See, so
Yeah,
it's not from Star Wars, it's the other way around. This has been around for thousands of
I
years.
know. I know.
Um, yeah,
I'm saying
definitely, let's say Mongolian traditional, and I'll add Queen Amidala. Maybe that's the way it's Amidala. Okay. Yeah, definitely this is, yeah, someone has even put the pictures up side by side.
but now,
So you can see like the shape is the same shape, the
yeah,
headdress is
but
very
now put up a
similar.
picture of the princess from the Neverending Story,
I wonder
which
what,
was, uh,
yeah.
I think, 20 years before this Star Wars, because it's not the original Star Wars. It's from the.
I don't think she had any elaborate costuming.
Yeah,
I think she
okay.
just wore the headpiece.
Yeah. I don't know why I remember it
No, she just
differently.
wore like white
No, she had something like this.
this.
Or
Wait a
maybe that's
minute.
the second movie.
I don't even know what that is. But also, she's just wearing fur and a headpiece.
Yeah. Maybe it was just because she was like a young person that was a
That was a queen,
princess, a queen.
similar way to the Queen Amidala. Yeah, this is also very cool. Here, let me see if it says Queen Genipil, the real life inspiration for Padme Amidala. Queen Genipil or Genipil, the last queen of Mongolia, circa 1920. This person had hair.
It's nice that we got back to Star Wars because of Star Wars.
Yeah,
I remember I read once about the Lucas when he wrote Star Wars. He
yeah,
showed the original script to his friends, and his friends were like there was a group of friends who were, I think it was Steven Spielberg and probably what's his name? Forgot his name. Scorsese
oh yeah, Scorsese, yeah.
and a couple of his friends,
Hmm.
and they were like, "Oh my God, this is horrible."
They hated it?
They didn't hate it. They said it's so
Steven
it
Spielberg also probably was maybe in that
so
group.
they helped him like figure it out, and I think it was their idea to do the subtitles at the beginning of the movie
Really?
because they said people won't understand anything. It's too complex and it's a mess. It was a mess at first, probably. And they helped him.
Jamie says, if I didn't know, I would say he has a pretty neutral international accent, maybe slightly European or Mediterranean. Yeah, so Mediterranean, that's what I think most people would probably either French.
No, people say French.
People
Like
say French
I think
and
like maybe 80% of people say
but
French.
you've been asked if you're
Once
Italian or Spanish before, too.
just because of my looks, I think,
Yeah.
and not from the hearing me speak.
Hmm.
Somebody at C2E2 thought I'm British for some reason, but
After speaking or before speaking?
after speaking,
Oh, that's what, where were they from? They weren't, did they,
American.
that's quite strange, actually.
Yeah.
Having English as your first language and then asking you if you were British, that's wild.
No, because I think he was thinking about like Welsh accents or like more.
Oh, Welsh? But yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're, I don't think, no, I don't think it sounds Welsh. Mm-mm,
No.
no. Yeah, I would say maybe the closest one is probably French or Dutch, maybe even a little bit.
Dutch only because we have the h.
Yeah,
We can h.
yeah.
Not a lot of people can
I think Dutch is more
do that.
sing-songy, the accent. It takes them up and down more in the tonal ranges.
Yeah,
It's less
but
monotonous.
I think the reason for that is that Dutch people are more happy.
Wait,
They're probably like they're in a good mood all the time.
what are you talking about?
You don't remember like Dutch people always sing in the street and whistle and
That's true.
they have this the yoo-hoo thing.
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah. So my family is Dutch, so I know that.
Yeah.
A lot of them do that. So
Definitely, I definitely think that they're happy on average. Probably more, definitely more than Germans. Because
yeah.
I remember the service people in Germany just being completely over their jobs. They didn't want anything to do with servicing people. They were just, yeah, over it. Not everyone, obviously, but a lot of people. They would be mad at you for trying to buy something. Like, why are you even bothering me? You know what I
Do you
mean?
think we have German fans
For
or
sure.
listeners?
I have a really good friend.
I'm saying fans, not friends.
Fans, probably.
Like here.
Yeah, maybe. It's okay. It's just our experience. We had some strange experiences with people being unnecessarily angry, not because of the fault of anyone that was in line or anything, just because they didn't want to be doing their job, which is, I guess, understandable too.
I wouldn't want to do
No, I wouldn't want
the
to do
job
that job either. Like,
like
I just think it's
servicing.
repetitive. Let's say making hot dogs and at a stand or like a concession stand.
Hmm.
I think the job itself is repetitive in a way
Yeah.
that can be frustrating.
I wouldn't mind the job itself, like making the hot dogs, but I would mind like the
Interacting
dealing
with people.
with people.
Well, yeah, I think I would probably enjoy the interacting with people part, but I would probably less like the hot dog making part. Maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't like the hot dog making part as well, but maybe I'll like it better than dealing with customers.
Mm,
Because I worked at a hotel
yeah.
at some point. I was a security guard.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It was a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Yeah. So, but in the off season, in
Yeah.
in the winter, when there not a lot of people were in the hotel itself,
Yeah.
so they didn't want to pay the room service guys in the weekends in the off season. So we had to do it.
Oh,
So I had to deal with but every time so we worked in shifts and it was two of us. So every time I got a request for room service, I told the other guy, you go do it. I can't.
Jamie says, favorite Star Wars film question for both of you? Question mark. Wait, do you have a question or?
I think for me it's probably the first one.
Oh, which of the movies you like the most?
Probably the first one. I really enjoyed the Mandalorian, the series with Pedro Pascal.
I think I'm gonna say the first one too.
But so the first one is the
Wait,
introduction of the entire world, and they had very cool ideas, new and innovating ideas about science fiction and fantasy there. Like the visuals were the important thing for this movie. Like determining that in this specific future they wanted to show ships as places that people use and
yeah,
not
lived
very
in.
clean, sleek looking everything like everything else
Was
were at the time.
was the first movie the one in which Obi-Wan sort of like disappeared mid-fight? Was that the first one?
Disappeared?
Was it? Was it?
Disappeared?
Here, I'm gonna try. Yeah, so during Star Wars Episode 4,
Yeah.
A New Hope.
4 is the new.
Not new.
4. Episode 4.
It's not new. It's from 1977.
Episode 4 is not 4.
A New Hope, it's called. Because they were titled, it wasn't titled 1, 2, 3, 4. It was titled, they were like, it began from the middle of or the end of the story, right?
Yeah, the newer
The first
ones
one
are
wasn't called.
prequels.
Yeah, it wasn't the first one wasn't called Episode 1. I think, if I'm not mistaken. But the scene during his lightsaber duel with Darth Vader aboard the Death Star, Obi-Wan chooses to stop fighting, allowing Vader to strike him down. But before the lightsaber even actually made any contact with Obi-Wan, he vanished, leaving his robes, cloak, and lightsaber in a pile on the floor. Yeah. So what actually happened there? Did he teleport or something?
No.
Did he become like a pure energy Jedi?
He died.
But that's my answer is that the reason that scene is the reason that it's my favorite film. So if it's the first one, it's the one from 1977.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if
the
it's
first. Yeah,
yeah,
it's the
I think
first
it's the
one.
first one. Because I was like, wait, what? And then no one explained what happened too, which gave me room to sort of make up my own lore.
No, but you see that he strikes him with a.
No,
with
he
a
doesn't
sword.
hit him. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but you
No,
understand
no.
it.
No, and also lightsabers don't vaporize people.
They do in Star Wars.
No, they don't. They don't vaporize people. Don't you remember all the people losing limbs by?
Yeah, but that's later, I think.
No, it's not. He wasn't killed. He just did some sort of technique. But I don't know if the technique was teleportation or like becoming a ghost or becoming a pure energy Jedi or whatever.
He was using a technique of becoming dead.
No.
Yeah.
No. Telling you.
So my theory about Star Wars is that Star Wars is actually a fantasy story because I see fantasy as talking about politics as opposed to science fiction that talks about science mostly.
Hmm.
So Star Wars is definitely not about science, but it is about politics. It's more similar to Lord of the Rings than to uh, I don't know, Ender's Game, or give me another science fiction.
Ender's
I
Game.
don't know. I was thinking about a science fiction example. Jurassic Park. I don't know.
Science fiction would be like,
Jurassic Park.
yeah, Jurassic Park is science fiction, but obviously there's fantasy elements in it as well, but it's more science fiction than anything else. And I would say like the Terminator is science
Yeah,
fiction, the
Terminator.
Foundation series is science fiction, Asimov.
Yeah, because the main topic is consequences of
Yeah,
scientific exploration.
and technology.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
Star Wars is more like Lord of the Rings, but in space. So the fact that it's in space doesn't say that it's science fiction.
yeah, who says space is science fiction? I guess just because we're a pre-spacefaring race and it's something that might happen in the future
But also, it's not in the future. Star Wars, it's
is in
no
the
longer
past.
is in the past.
Yeah. But why is everyone speaking English though, if it's such a long time ago?
They don't speak English. They made it to look like they speak English in order for you to understand the movie. They actually speak a different
Do they
language.
say that at any
No,
point?
no, no. It's something. It's my head canon for it.
Oh, well, my head canon is that Obi-Wan turns into Jedi Ghost, so there you have it. Um, yeah.
So Obi-Wan in the prequels is the Ewan McGregor character, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It says, so I'm reading off of Quora.com in which people give answers to questions that other people ask, sort of like Reddit. And it goes, did Obi-Wan really die in episode 4? He just vanished when he was cut down by Vader. So someone says, because when they originally shot it, the special effects stunt looked horrible on film. They could never get it right, so they gave up on it. The original plan for Obi-Wan's death scene was to be an organic stunt on camera that called for a life-size dummy that, when struck with Vader's lightsaber, would explode into a suitable shower of sparks and then collapse smoking to the floor. With the magic of simply pausing the camera, the smoking dummy would then be replaced by a heap of smoking rags, where his robes used to be. While the stunt looked horrible on film, cheesy, beyond lame even, for the sake of expediency, they eliminated the film clip of the exploding body and went with Vader swinging his lightsaber at Obi-Wan and then a sudden fade to a heap of smoking rags. So it was kind of lame, but not as lame as it could have been. That was one answer.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone else starts with, oh boy, where do I even start? But they say, yes, he's dead, but Vader didn't kill him. If you rewatch that particular scene again, Ben Kenobi closes his eyes right before Vader swings his lightsaber at him, and in the instant before the lightsaber would have hit him, Ben disappears and Vader's lightsaber cuts through an empty cloak. Vader even prods the cloak with his boot, confused because he knows his lightsaber didn't actually cut through Ben's body. Kenobi gave himself completely to the Force. He gave the very last of his energy to the Force. There's a theory that this last act is what enabled him to become a Force ghost.
It's
Didn't
funny.
I just say Force ghost?
It's funny that bad, like just bad visual effects causes all this confusion with people, and people like invent stuff that happen
Hmm.
just because people weren't they didn't succeed in doing the correct
I actually like the way that it turned out, and I'm happy that they didn't do some sort of dummy with smoke and sparks and stuff.
I think they wanted something dramatic for his death,
Yeah.
so they wanted something else, but they didn't. It wasn't gonna work, so they had to invent something on the spot. On the spot.
This is the point where we usually pause and look over what you inked today.
Okay.
An hour and a half have gone by. since we started the live stream today. You can zoom out the camera just so that more of it is visible in the frame.
I'll just finish this area here. Otherwise, I might forget. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So I finished all the characters. It's only one character in this page.
Yeah.
And started the blacks. I'm gonna finish the blacks in an hour, maybe less.
Could we show a close-up of the faces? No, maybe even just like lift the page to the camera. Oh, that's good too. Yeah. Yeah. I love the way you shade the eyes to indicate the depth of the iris, like the cone of the eye moving inwards.
Yeah. I looked at a lot of parkour images
Yeah.
to do the moves here.
Climbing?
Yeah. Climbing, parkour.
Everything. Base jumping? No.
No.
Well, Helix Sky.
I had a scene with the. There's a scene with the base jumping in Helix Sky, but not here.
I'm gonna end by saying, first of all,
Happy Star Wars Day.
Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And looking forward to some more Star Wars movies and series.
And commissions.
Definitely.
I don't think I have ever done a Star Wars commission.
That's wild. Is that true? I remember you doing a Yoda sketch card.
Yeah, but
I think it was my request, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got a Star Wars commission.
No, I don't think you did. Sign up for the workshop so that it actually takes place and happens. The sooner you do it, the more time we'll have to send everything out, all the information, and actually give a confirmation that it's going to happen. Because if it only ends up being 3 people, it's not going to be worthwhile financially to go through with it. So we need at least a few people to sign up so that we can say, okay, great, we're going forward with this, and send all the info and material out to everyone. Happy Monday to everyone. Have a great week, and take care. Thank you for joining us again today.
See you next week.
See you next week. See you, Jamie. See you, Jillian, and everyone else that's on today. See you.